In this video, we're going to talk about what to expect for actors if you decide to visit a tax advisor, if and when, how much that typically costs on average, and then how I got a big fat discount. So especially for those of you that already have one, stick around for that. All right, so if we haven't met, I'm Spurgeon Perkins. I'm an actor just like you, and if you're anything like me, you kept tax advisors at arm's length for a while because they cost money. But my mindset started to shift about this because I heard somebody say, well, you wouldn't do your own surgery, you would go to a surgeon. And since taxes have a lot of legal connections to them, then why in the world would you do your own taxes? And I thought, interesting. And then my husband and I get a big fat scary letter from the IRS one year saying we owed them thousands of dollars. What? Now, my husband, being the nice guy that he is, got on the phone and said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, called everybody by their first name. And we actually ended up having a really good experience during that process. And there was just a little glitch. Something got misfiled, I guess, when we purchased our first home. And all of that got squared away. We got reimbursed every single penny, but still just it hanging over us for the entire summer was physically and mentally and emotionally exhausting. If that were to happen to you right now and you were to get a letter and it said, hey, you owe us this much money, would you be able to do it? The hard truth is if you can't, or if you don't have your ducks in a row, you're really potentially looking at jail time. They're not kidding around about this. This isn't something we can avoid. Let's talk about our first visit to a tax advisor, because at that point we went, we don't want to do this again. And especially since my income is so random as an actor and tax laws change all of the time, and they did for actors in 2018. We said, you know what, let's just try it once. Let's just go to a tax advisor once and see what happens and see what it's like. My husband and I are both pretty self-sufficient. We like doing DIY. We feel like we can figure it out, and we did for years until this happened. When you go, you basically just go sit in a tax advisor's office in front of a big computer screen for about an hour, and they will input all of your information and basically any of the forms you have to report any income that you've made that year, and then any potential write-offs that you may have. It is so excellent, so great to have them tell you yes or no, you can write this off, and to ask you questions about potential write-offs that you might not have even thought about. It's just really nice to have somebody who's certified and licensed to say you can do this or no, you can't, because then you don't have to worry about it. You're not the expert. It's not hanging over your head for the rest of the year with you knowing, like we do now, that you might get a letter, a really scary letter. So when we left that day, we just stood out on the landing at the top of the stairs outside and just sat there for a minute. And I literally said, I feel like I'm floating. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. We just kept going. Is it done? It's done. Is it done? It's totally done. We don't have to worry about it anymore because we were reporting everything honestly. And now at that point, that means if anything comes back, if we can prove and show, yes, we reported everything we were supposed to. Yes, we have a way to prove all of these deductions, then it comes back to the tax advisor. That's not stressful for them. That's just business as usual. And they're licensed and insured, and they handle it at that point. And it really comes back on what they approved or didn't approve. And the government recognizes that you went to somebody who is a professional that was licensed that said, yes, I'm calling the shots on what is going to be deducted or not. So it was almost like, you know, when somebody scratches your back, or if you've ever gotten a chiropractic adjustment or a massage and you feel kind of tingly, or somebody's just doing this to your back. It was literally that same feeling because there was so much stress and so much burden that was lifted off of us that it felt like there was just such a release in our nervous system. We did not have to carry the stress anymore. And we were like, do you want to go eat? Let's go get some dinner. Like, we have the rest of our lives ahead of us now. That's really how it feels because you don't have to worry. And it's not just the potential of owing the money. It's also the worry and the stress that's just sitting there underlying in your system that affects you, whether you realize it or not. But especially if you get a letter.